Ich auch, mein Fan.
Можно, если я возьму?
Да, да.
Если вот так вот держать, сейчас не видно, вот так вот.
Нибудь дисклеймер.
Уберите детей и беременных женщин от экрана. Уже поехали?
Запись пошла. Сейчас все перевернем. В очках или без очков?
Как хочешь. Для более умного вида можно в очках. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you again.
I've seen you here for an hour already. Nice to meet you. Anastasia.
The last time we've been doing our podcast, it was April
April?
or May.
Yeah, anyway. We are here again.
Without our white background, without memes, we've lost them. But probably we'll make new memes.
Yes. So, and this is our podcast about architecture.
Welcome to cathARCHis.
Please tell me what is cathARCHis about.
cathARCHis is a concept where we speak about our feelings and emotions about architecture in a non-educational and university way. So it could be for everyone, not only architects and professionals.
And we're having fun here.
Okay, our first episode is about telling who we are and what are we doing. And Anastasia, tell me about yourself. Who are you?
Yes, so I'm Anastasia, and this is also Anastasia. I am working in Berlin as an architect. I graduated together with Anastasia, what was it, 2 months ago, from BTU Cottbus Senftenberg in Germany as well. I'm working full time and I have my online platform called Gromark, and I'm working there as well, helping young architects and students with architectural graphics. And we decided with Anastasia that we want to have a bit more of educational content and fun content connected to architecture.
No educational content here on this YouTube channel.
Okay, no education, we just having
Educational
fun.
content is gonna be on your Gromark YouTube channel.
Yes, okay, if you want to learn something, go to my Instagram. If you want to have fun, stay here.
Yes. I'm Anastasia as well. I've also graduated. Wow. We did our master degrees 2 months ago.
We graduated, yes.
Yes, finally, it's done, it's over. And I'm also working, but I'm working in Cottbus part-time.
You'll be working full-time from the new year.
No, I won't be working from New Year.
You know it for sure?
From February or March.
Yeah, it's fine. Now you have free time for yourself.
I hate free time. I get anxious. Okay, so let's talk about why did we choose architecture in general.
Oh, long story. So maybe you tell first, why did you choose architecture?
Okay. So as a child, during school, I went to an art school, and I always wanted to do something connected to art. But I knew that being an artist is being very poor and not earning a lot of money. So I decided to go into architecture. And I always liked math and physics.
And you didn't have any math and physics here in masters.
But I had a bachelor.
I didn't like physics or maths or anything connected to numbers.
The only numbers I like is counting money.
Yeah, it was. I was going to say I choose architecture because I just liked it from my childhood. My dad is also an architect, and he always had at home his drawings and plans printed out from AutoCAD, and I used them as my coloring books. And from really young age, I knew I will become an artist or an architect, and I was pretty straightforward with my choice, and I just became an architect.
I just wanted to become, and I became. Sounds like you didn't have 7 years of studying, or how much was it?
No, of course it was very complicated, but I didn't need to choose between any other professions because I just knew I want this and I worked forward to get it.
If not architecture, I would have been in the film industry. Probably that's why we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, maybe you will be a bit later.
Maybe.
You moved to Berlin to here?
Yes, but I want to move somewhere else and not to Berlin.
Anastasia will move to. It's a secret.
I don't know yet. I just have a ranking of some cities, and Berlin is not there. Merry Christmas.
I want to say for our graduation, but okay, Merry Christmas.
And for our graduation. Maybe let's talk about university and educational differences in Germany and Russia.
Please tell me about your education. How did you start architecture? Where did you study and for how long?
Yes. So I started my educational path in St. Petersburg. I finished my bachelor's there and I did it for 5 years. No, I didn't stay for double semesters, it's just normal 5 years of bachelor. And then I wanted to move to Germany to do my master's. But for the first time, I failed my German test and I didn't get accepted to a uni. Well, officially I got accepted, but they required a language certificate. Cottbus was the only university who said, yeah, we're going to reserve you a spot. We're going to wait for you. Come back next year. And during this 1 year of in my life, I decided to do 1 year of master's in St. Petersburg about urban planning. And then I moved to Germany. And in 2 years, I graduated with my master in architecture degree.
Wow. But you also studied in an art school before university?
Yes, it was a child art school. It was more fun than educational.
It wasn't just like this normal government one, like 5 years with diploma in the end?
No, I have a diploma,
Okay.
and it was for 9 years, actually, from
9
the first
years.
grade to the ninth grade. Yes, but I skipped a little bit because I went a little bit late to art school. I was already in grade 4, I think. So I studied only 5 years instead of 9.
But it's fine, you don't need it anymore.
But I liked art school. We had a lot of tea and cupcakes.
Not a lot
And
of art,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of cupcakes and tea, but not a lot of art.
And a lot of chatting.
Nice. I also want to go to this art school. Yeah. So I also went to an art school, but for 5 years, and it was planned for 5 years before going to an architecture school. My last 2 years of the high school, I started in architectural based high school, the same thing. Yeah, and I also started my education in Russia in Academy of Art and Architecture on the south of Russia in Rostov-on-Don, and I didn't finish my education there. I cancelled it after 2 years and moved to Germany to start my bachelor's again. I also learned language for 1 year and also didn't get a place at first, so I needed to learn my language 6 months more, and I got accepted in March 2020, and the same time as Corona started. Yeah, so I finished my bachelor after 3.5 years in Germany, and I just continued to study for my master's at the same university, and I graduated together with Anastasia 2 months ago. So I have bachelor and master's from the same university and half of my diploma from Russian university. Yeah, but what would you say, what was more complicated, to study in Russia or to study in Germany?
A little bit complicated for me to compare, but I would say bachelor in Russia was very tough. We studied 6 days a week from approximately 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it was very intense work. There was little opportunity to work at the same time, but a lot of our students do work, especially those who come from other cities.
Did you work part-time?
I started working when I was in my 6th semester in bachelor, but I didn't start working as an architect. I worked as a saleswoman in Bershka.
Not bad.
Yes.
You still had some money to survive architecture.
And you? What do you think?
So I studied only for 2.5 years before I went to Germany, and I would also say that Russian university is more tough than German one if we don't look at language. So if we could ignore it, I think Russian university is more complicated because yes, I was studying in another university. We also had 6 days a week where we must be at university because they have this list of attendance, and if you don't come, your grade will be worse. So you need to be there 6 days a week, and 9 a.m. it's pretty soft. I think some of our lectures started at 7:30 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really early and ended maybe somewhere around 4-5 p.m.
Yeah, the most stupid thing is to get kicked out of a Russian university because of that you missed PE class. I almost got kicked out because of PE class. Not very sporty.
Yeah, also in comparison to German university, Russian university has a lot of strange or unexpected models which you don't have here. Like, I don't know that some other countries have philosophy at bachelor's for architecture, or we also had sports. So we must visit sport as well and pass the sport exam, but you could choose here which one you want. And your schedule was so tough and planned the whole week, so you really needed to work at the weekends and at nights like in any other university, of course, but we had like 10 till 12 exams each semester, and we also had 2 architectural projects per semester. They were not so big, but still we had 2.
I didn't have 10 or 12 exams per semester, but I would say 5, 6.
You have like tests and you have vocal exam,
Mm-hmm.
and you also have like maths, physics,
My favorite.
philosophy, geometry, everything, and it's in the same time, at the same day, and crazy.
But at the same time, a Russian university gives you a very strong fundamental education.
For me, I think what really helped me to become a better architect from Russia is this fundamentals of drawing, this academical drawings every week, the whole day was left for drawing. And even before getting into university, we will come back to this point a bit later, it's also a bit more complicated to get into university in Russia. You also needed already know how to draw before you even start architecture. You already need to know about architecture a lot, and I think this knowledge is really helpful now and was helpful during my education in Germany. What would you say?
Yes, definitely. These fundamental things in maths, I would say, and in drawing helped me a lot here with my projects. It helped me to develop more realistic projects, I would say. So in Germany, the main point I think is in creativity, in finding unusual maybe solutions in your project. But yeah, I like to combine it now to make it realistic and unusual.
From German university, in comparison to Russian, it's very technical based. I, at least for me, developed the skills of technical drawings, like construction details, and understand how building actually works, which layers it has, how is it built, which I didn't have in Russia. But maybe it was because I left too early. I can't
You
say.
missed the fun.
I missed the fun. No, I still had physics in my first years, but I don't know how I survived this. I found physics in Germany even more well explained than in Russia.
In German, even in German.
Yeah, I don't know. I passed my German physics exam better than the Russian one. I don't know how. So I think it's very interesting topic about how to get into German university and in comparison how to get to Russian university. So tell me, how did you get to Russian university? How did you get into German university? You talked about your language exam,
Mm-hmm.
but what was more complicated, German university exams or Russian university exams?
I would say there was no German university exam at all.
Yeah, just application.
Yes, no, I applied only for masters here. The only thing I had to send my portfolio and CV. Okay, and I had an online interview with some professors from the university, and the questions were very, very general. Like, why did you choose our university? Why did you choose this city? What do you like to do in architecture? But the funniest question was, do you think your German language level will be enough to study here?
And then you didn't pass the exam? Yes, of course.
I was very, very like, yes, I think I'll manage it.
Yeah, natürlich.
So, yes, I would say getting into a Russian university was a bit more complicated because, first of all, you have to pass your final exams in school. They are all the same in general for the whole country, and you just choose the subjects that you need for your university and write the exam. So, I had to do Russian as an obligatory subject and advanced math. And actually, that's it. And I had 2 internal exams in university connected to drawing. So one was composition, and the other one was Naturmort.
Naturmort.
French.
I have books about these exams. I will show you.
It wasn't very complicated to pass the drawing exams because I visited some preparation courses. And the first thing the teacher told us on the preparation course, forget everything you know about drawing, especially if you went to art school. And I was like, thanks.
Yeah. So I can't say completely about like school exams. Yeah, we have this Russian exam ЕГЭ. Yeah, we
Graduating
actually
pretty
graduated
soon.
almost 10 years ago.
Yes.
10 years ago. It was
I
10
graduated in 2017.
I graduated 2016. Wow. It's almost 10 years. I'm so old. I'm going to cry. Yeah, but what I was going to say that since we finished school in Russia, we can't say how difficult it was for German students to get their Abitur, to get into university. But if we just ignore that and speak about exams which you need to get accepted into university, Russia has this additional obligatory exams for drawing. In my case, it was not two, it were three. And before actual exams, you had the competition for drawing, and it was 3 months before deadline for applications. And if you won the competition, you got accepted into university without exams. Yes, and there also was a composition, drawing of the antique hat, like architectural drawing. I don't know.
We also had the competition thing, but it got cancelled the year I was applying for university.
And if you want to pass an exam to the Russian university, you need to buy this.
But it's in Russian. Another, I don't know, is it cool or maybe not very cool, but a thing about Russian universities that they have a certain amount of studying places that are for free. That means they are financed by the government and you don't have to pay absolutely anything for that. But you have to be a very top student. You have to write your final exams and all the exams very, very good. And each year there's a ranking made of the top students who get the most points. In my case, I managed to get a free studying spot. But if you study not for free, it can get quite pricey. I don't know, if I transfer this into euros, it's not going to be that much.
No, it's still expensive.
But for
Germany, it's expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've checked actually yesterday when I was writing the script how much this year costs in my university. So it's about 2,500 euros per semester.
I think it's the same at my university as well. Yeah, but if you get this free place, because you're a top student, you also get really small scholarship.
But it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I think you can start anything with the scholarship in Europe. And Anastasia told me she has a list with what can you buy for Russian scholarship.
And it's very small. У меня охуенный разбор, что можно купить на российскую стипендию на 2000 рублей. So when I was studying in my first semester, I had a scholarship around 20 euros.
Yeah,
a month.
same. It even didn't cover expenses on public transport.
In my case, it did cover expenses for public transport. The public ticket was 7 euros or 8 euros a month. And for the rest of the money, I could have, I don't know, like 4 lunches in a month.
But you have
once
subway.
in a week.
In my city, we don't have subway, and Anastasia's city has subway, so you could have this. I needed to pay for the bus and switch the bus. Yeah, maybe it didn't cover my transport expenses because I was living on the edge of the city.
I didn't live very close as well. Yeah, anyway, so scholarships are very funny. And I don't know how students who come from other cities that have to rent some kind of accommodation, how they manage to do it. They start working right away, usually.
We actually didn't finish the topic about how to get accepted into German university. And so in your case, you told you just applied with your CV, portfolio, and language certificate, but it was for masters. If you apply for bachelor's, as I know, there is no portfolio, at least for BTU Cottbus-Württemberg and for bachelor's, and for 5 years ago. Yeah, I don't think that they still need some portfolio for bachelor because, of course, you don't have any portfolio before you have started your education.
But maybe you went to art school.
Maybe, but if you just did your abitur or anything else, you just finished the school, you don't have anything, maybe some drawings.
And a recommendation from your mom.
Yeah, recommendation from your mom.
He's a very good child.
Yeah, normally you don't have anything but your grades. And as a foreign student, I needed to apply via Uni Assist platform.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
And it's just really complicated platform where you can collect all of your documents and send into different universities. I applied only for one university. I wanted to go exactly to BTU Cottbus, and I didn't have portfolio. I did have my CV. I did have my grades translated to German because Russia has another system. I didn't have that much. Something like insurance, of course, and some money on my account so I can survive after coming to Germany. But I don't think even grades they're so important in this case because I don't know. To get into German university was really chill. The most complicated thing about going to German university was to getting visa. Yeah, I think I waited for the answer from BTU for months that I was accepted, but I was making my visa for 3 or 5 months before that. It was just a few months, so when I came to Germany, I needed to expand it
to get a residence permit for
yeah
studying.
yeah and for that maybe if you're also a foreign student and in Germany you can relate.
Things can be tough, but sometimes I just find myself, it feels like I wake up sometimes and I'm like, oh my god, I'm in Germany. The fuck am I doing here? How did this happen? About grades, actually, grades did matter, I think, when I was applying for masters here.
Yeah, yes,
It's
maybe.
some universities, they require to have a GPA not less than some kind of grade, but it's not everywhere.
Yeah, I know for TU Berlin that people don't get accepted if they have less than 1.3 in German system or even more. And people who didn't get good grades in bachelor's inside the TU Berlin, they need to switch university because they didn't accept it into master's program with bad grades.
Okay.
So some universities can be tough, but in our case, I think BTU Cottbus is really chill and welcoming university. So it wasn't so complicated, and we could focus on things which are more important than really complicated application and just looking for a flat, getting an insurance, get a new visa or residence permit. And I think it was really nice in this case because in Russia I was suffering with getting into university. I got in there with scholarship, and yes.
Another great difference that I feel between Russian and German universities are professors. What I like about Germany that professors usually have a short-term working contract with unis. Most of the time after the contract is over, they leave a university, they leave a city and get a contract somewhere else in Germany. This country is very mobile, I would say. At the same time in Russia, it's more likely that you will meet a professor who is like 70 plus years old, and the first thing he's gonna tell you, I'm working here for more than 40 years. You're like, wow.
Yes, it was also the case with me because my professor for maths in Russia was the same professor which taught math for my father 20 years ago. And he still could remember my name, my surname, my family name. And I was so, okay, how did my dad do back then? I don't know what to
Am
ask.
I in a museum? Antique museum? Yes. I don't know. At the same time, it's cool maybe to have conservative education, as previously said, fundamental basics, but I'd prefer the German system a little bit more.
Yeah, it's in the whole a bit more chill. You don't need to have a dress code as in Russia. You have dress code for university in Russia. You can't just go in your slippers in the building. No. Or in a short skirt. Also, no.
Yeah.
You need to dress normally,
Even
not
if
normally, formally.
even if it's plus, how much degrees can you get
Plus
in Rostov?
40. You can't go in your slippers in the building. Yeah, and But what I like the most about professors in Germany, that at least at BTU Cottbus, it's really family based. I know it's like really warm and calm atmosphere, and your professors actually there for you. They can answer your questions. You can just go to them and ask them anything you want. They are on the weekly basis in the studio, and you feel like you can get this attention and help you need at any time, which I didn't get at Russian university, because they always like, yes, I'm here for 1 hour, I will go, you work,
We will meet each other on the exam.
yes, and you will not pass.
Bye. Is there something you miss from Russian uni?
I really like drawing. I didn't get so BTU Cottbus is a technical university, and because it's Brandenburg University of Technology, and of course we had art modules, but I miss more this old-fashioned art lessons which we had in Russia. I really like that they had the composition in the middle of the room, and we all seated around it and draw the same from different perspective, and we drawn people, antique statues, and it was really detailed with a lot of rules, and it just looked really nice and professional, and I really missed it here in Germany.
Me too.
It was also really complicated, and a lot of people didn't like this because, yeah, I can draw. I use just Archicad, and I don't need this drawing skills at all. And yes, of course, you don't need to know how to draw an antique hat in your everyday architecture life, but it's just nice skill about understanding dimensions and proportions and light and shadow which you get while you have this academic drawing.
And in the end, professors from BTU, and they see a Russian student, they were like, so you can draw and sketch very well. The work is going to be much more easy. Like, all hopes on you.
Yeah, every time other students see that you can draw, like in the group project, they always, okay, you do the sketches. I'm still drawing at work.
I'm still drawing at home. I'm trying to make myself to go outside the city and do some sketches, but now it's a little bit cold.
I have maybe 100 of these sketchbooks which I started, where I have like different topics for different sketchbook. Here is the city, here are the people, and everywhere just 2 pages filled.
So yes, thank you so much for making it this far. Probably in the end of the video, we would like to talk a teeny tiny bit about what we want to do with this podcast in the future. This was a show and tell, getting to know each other video. So yes, do you have any hopes about this YouTube channel and podcast?
I have hopes and wishes and ideas, but I won't tell them. So you keep you stay interested in what we do. But yeah, I think we will speak about some architecture, about buildings, about real examples, and what we think about it as young professionals. About
latest
how,
news in architecture.
Yeah, latest news and how it is to work after graduation, how it is to get this actual architect title, because now we can't call ourselves architects still.
Also from the education and not an architect.
Yes, also from the perspective of foreigners in Germany, because it's also a bit different than being born in Europe and have a bit of more possibilities in the beginning.
Okay, anyway, yes.
cathARCHis.
И напоследок говорим, что мы хотим делать с подкастом. Что мы хотим делать с подкастом? У тебя есть мысли? Ну что, о чем дальше снимать, в смысле? О чем конкретно?
Подписывайтесь, чтобы узнать, о чем будем снимать дальше.
Интриганка.
You don't see this on Instagram because I'm not showing myself there, but this is how I am in real life.